Arsenal are doing something unexpected. I've put so many hours into researching and breaking down just what's happening at Arsenal at the minute, but the way that it impacts us going forward. And there's some interesting things for us to go through in this video. I've literally broke it down in such a simple way for people to understand. And I just want to get people's thoughts and opinions on it. We're also going to be speaking about Bukayo Saka's injury because there's been a massive update in that. Raheem Sterling injury, there's been a big update in that as well, amongst other things. Before we get into it though, I'm going to ask you one very quick favor. If you could, please just hit like on this video. So I always like to start these videos with a question. And the question I'm going to start this video with is a very simple one. It is just, if you're Arsenal and you are coming into the transfer window, the January transfer window, what type of player do you go for? Because there's been so much noise around a striker. Now there is noise about a potential right winger coming in. And I just wanted to ask, if you had the decision, what type of player, what positional player would you bring in? Let me know. Striker, right wing, centre back, centre mid. Let me know in the comment section. So, look, what I mean about Arsenal being in an unexpected position is just this season in general. And bear with me because, like I said, I've broke it down. The way Arsenal are playing this season isn't good enough. It's clear for us to see. And on the current trajectory, Arsenal will hit 78 points this season. That's nowhere near going to win you the title. When you consider the way that Liverpool are playing, they're on course to hit 96 points this season if the back end of their season is exactly the same as the front end. So Liverpool could be on for a 96-point season. And to make it even more interesting, if Arsenal win every single remaining fixture for the rest of the season, the maximum points they can get is 96 points. So you're understanding just how difficult it is for Arsenal to win the league this season. Again, not impossible. I don't want to put fear in everyone out there, but we said for about 2 months, it's not impossible for Arsenal to win the league. I hope Arsenal will win the league, but I can guarantee you it's going to be difficult for Arsenal to win the league. The way that Man City are currently playing, they're on course for, it's laughable, 60-odd points this season. That is unheard of Man City. Chelsea, they're on for 82 points this season. That is, of course, there's so many factors going into those point system. Like, all I've done is expected Arsenal to win against Brentford and Ipswich, and then I've just doubled those points. That would lead Arsenal to a 78-point season. Now, the front part of this season for Arsenal hasn't been good, so of course I hope the back end or the second part of the season is much better for Arsenal. I hope Liverpool fall off, for example. Like, what's the chances of Liverpool maintaining that level for the whole season? It's going to be difficult. We saw it last season with Arsenal. The season before, we was leading past Christmas, and then you get a couple of results where things don't go your way, then all of a sudden you're looking at a very different picture. And that could still happen with this Liverpool team, who are a good team, but they don't hold the same level of dominance that Man City has over this league, where you would just expect Man City to get 45 points in the front end of the season and then 52 points, and they're going to get up near 100 points. Liverpool could do it, but there's a level of uncertainty about Liverpool, and that is the hope that you can hold as an Arsenal fan. Like I said, it's still going to be difficult. Arsenal still have to have an unbelievable second part of the season. Are Arsenal still in a title race? I consider it as a yes. I would like to think they are. Looking at the points, it's like we've dropped so many points in this front end of the season. Like last season, through the whole season, we drew 5 games and we lost 5 games. So far this season already, we've drawn 6 games and lost 2 games. So we are performing at a far lower level than we was last season for the front end of the season. Arsenal can go into this second part of the season and improve so much more. Like, we can gain ground on Liverpool. We've still got to play Liverpool. Liverpool have got a game in hand. Chelsea, they drew on the weekend. They still got some difficult fixtures coming up. Like, it's still all to play for. But I just thought it was interesting looking at those numbers, thinking if Liverpool continue this current form, they will hit 96 points. And with Arsenal's best winning every single game, we can only hit 96 points. So if you're looking at it in a realistic way, you have to say we need Liverpool to fall off massively. If we maintain this current level and Liverpool maintain the current level, Liverpool are going to win it by a mile. We have to hope we improve and Liverpool drop off. But that is what we've known for quite a while. But I thought it was interesting to see it with actual numbers. Let me know your thoughts on it. Are Arsenal still in the title race? Do you expect Liverpool to drop off? Do you expect Chelsea to drop off? Can we now consider Man City out of the Premier League title race before Christmas. How crazy is that to say? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, we've also, of course, the big news of the day is Bukayo Saka has been, Mikel Arteta has said, well, he come out and said, didn't he? Bukayo Saka will be out for many, many weeks. What does that mean? We don't know. I'm sure Mikel Arteta knows how long it's going to be, but he's torn his hamstring. It's a terrible injury. It could be 1 month. It could be 2 months. I guess the saving grace is touch wood. It's not going to be a 6 months, 4 months kind of injury. It probably will be between 1 and 2 months, but that doesn't help us because Bukayo Saka has been our best player for the past however many seasons. We need Bukayo Saka in this team. And if we don't have Bukayo Saka, you could probably look at the team and say, right, we're going to have to use Sterling. He's nowhere near the level of Bukayo Saka, but he is still a player who we know has done it previously in the Premier League. But you look at it now and say, right, Sterling's out for weeks as well. So what are Arsenal going to do on that left-hand side? We've left ourselves so short. In the last transfer window, so many people were saying, why haven't we brought in any more players? Why have we let so many players go? And we didn't bring in the reinforcements we need to really bolster this squad to give ourselves a chance in the Premier League, Champions League, the cup games. It's going to be difficult. It's even going to be way more difficult. Like when Odegaard was injured, it was just like, I hope we don't drop too many points. We saw Odegaard out and we dropped points. Now we've got the same situation with Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is going to be out, and now we're going to be left with the same mind frame. We hope we don't drop too many points. And I just hope we don't drop too many points because like I've just gone through, we can't afford to drop any more points. If we lose 1 or 2 more games, the title's done. And I hate to say it so early in the season, but the title could be done. We're getting to that point now where we have to start looking at it and saying, look, Arsenal, if they win every single game, they only get to 96 points. Man City won the league with 91 points last season. And although I don't think the points tally will be as high as it was last season, around 90 points will get you the title. So if Arsenal lose 2 games, the maximum amount of points they can do is just reach 90. Losing 2 games with over half of the season left is a bit of a reality check. It's us saying we can't continue this run of form. Like I said, I don't know. It's difficult with Saka out. It's difficult with Sterling out because although he wouldn't have been the first option, for me, it is still a number in there. We've got no Reece Nelson. He's away at Fulham. I don't even think he's getting that much game time. Will Arsenal look at this and go to Fulham in the January transfer window and say, you're not playing him that much, can we have him back? It might be a needs-must kind of situation. I don't know the feasibility of that. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know if Fulham have got Nelson in their plans. But Arsenal are going to have to do something in January because we are light up top. There's a tiny saving grace in the fact that we've had Gabriel Jesus seemingly come into form just as Bukayo Saka gets injured. Now, that will help. We do need Gabriel Jesus in form. And the fact that he scored 5 goals in the last 2 games, you can look at that player and say, right, you can see where maybe he could pick up some of the goals and assists that Saka would usually contribute to this team. But we're going to need more than just Gabriel Jesus. We're going to need Havertz on top form. We're going to need Trossard come through with 10, 15 goals, the same as he did last season. It's good to see Martinelli get back on the score sheet against Crystal Palace. Arsenal are going to... If the decision was mine, would I enter the January transfer window to go and sign a player? I would always say yes, but it has to be the right profile of player. If the option is me going into the January transfer window and signing a player on the level of Raheem Sterling for 3 years, would I do it? No, I'm going to say no because I don't want to bring the ceiling down. And if you bring in a mediocre player, you've got an okay player for 3 years, but you could have a world-class player. You could wait till summer and get... No, I know it's the other side, but a Nico Williams or someone like that. I know he plays on the left, but what I'm saying is the caliber of player needs to reflect your ambitions. Like if you're going to sign a Nico Williams, you're basically putting out, look, we're a title challenging team. We want to win the Champions League. We're going out there and signing the very best players. Can we go out there and sign that level of player in January? I don't know. If the answer is yes, then bring him in. Bring in a Vlahovic or a Sesko would have been put. Someone who I see as having a really, really high ceiling in the right environment. And I think Arsenal is a great environment for a player who could be world class to come in and take the step to that next level. A Gyokores, for example. I don't want another kind of player who's been there and done it. Sterling, 30, 35. Now, I know Sterling's not that old, but I'm saying I don't want that kind of player. If we're going to bring in a 30, 35-year-old player, I wouldn't be happy with that in January. Some people might say it's a needs must, and if it means getting a body in the door to do you a favour, then you have to go out there and do it. I don't know. It's a difficult situation. I wish we wasn't in this situation. I wish Bukayo Saka wasn't injured. And if Saka was injured, then I wish we still had Sterling as a backup. Because although he isn't that great, he can still do something in this Arsenal team. Now we're probably going to have to play Trossard or Martinelli on the left. We might have to play Martinelli up front. That's still something I'm waiting to see. I think Martinelli could be a brilliant striker for Arsenal. I don't get why we haven't seen that yet. Probably because we've got Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus both able to play that position. But I would like to see Martinelli up front, Trossard on the left, and then Saka on the right. But because Saka's injured, maybe you have to put Gabriel Jesus on the right, Trossard on the left, Martinelli up front. Give it a go. You might just surprise yourself and save yourself 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 million because you could have a pre-made striker in Gabriel Martinelli. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Like I said, very quickly before you go, if you could do me a quick favour, just like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.